This in front of me, ladies and gentlemen, is the Vitilan T7PRO. This is their latest bike. They just released in August, and we're gonna tell you the difference between the original T7 and the T7PRO. It goes from being a 48 volt bike, now it's 52 volt, 20 amp hours, 1040 watt hours. Now the battery comes out super easy. There's a key on this side. You just turn it to the unlock. It slightly drops down. You move this little lever down here, and it's that easy. And to put it back in, just push it down on the bottom, it snaps in place. If you wanted to, you can charge this battery on the bike or off the bike. The hub motor is still a Bafang motor, but this goes from 750 watts to 1,000 watts on the Pro model, which peaks at 1,600 watts compared to 1,200 watts on the original T7. Your controller is right here, and it went from 25 amps up to 30 amps, which means this bike now goes up to 35 miles per hour. The suspension up front went from 60 millimeters of travel to 105 millimeters of travel, and now it's an air dual suspension fork. We get T7PRO 180 millimeter rotors with T7PRO hydraulic brakes. Here's some information on the fork to let you know what to air it up to. And this is your air valve right at top. Oh crap, don't lose that. Over on the right hand side is your lockout adjustment. You get a nice beefy headlight up front, but however, no rear brake light. All you do is get that little reflector that sits underneath your seat. The seat is looking pretty wide though, should be pretty comfortable. Here's the T7PRO badge, looks nice and stealthy on there. You got the D&M shock in the back. You also got some fine adjustments that you can use on this red dial, and on this blue one right here, you can also put air into it on that other side. The tires are 26 by 4 inches wide, so this is a very tall bike, which let me show you how I look sitting on it at 5'9". The seat is all the way down pretty much, and I can perfectly flat foot it. You can see my knees are bent. I could, however, adjust this a little tiny bit higher. Let's go like that high, and let's see how I sit on it now. Now this is definitely probably a little bit too taller for me, but you can see I'm still being able to put my feet on the ground, but I am on my tippy toes. So if you're a tall rider, you're definitely gonna appreciate this bike. But if you're also probably starting at 5'4" and up, I don't think you're gonna have a problem with this bike, but you might be slightly on your tippy toes at 5'4". Now I turned off all my lights except the one garage light above me, just so we can actually see myself in the video. To turn the headlight on, you just hold the plus button, and this is how the headlight looks. And obviously there is no brake light, so very unfortunate. You're definitely gonna wanna put a brake light on this thing if you plan on riding at night, but if you ride during the day, you shouldn't have a problem. Last but not least, here is a look at the cockpit area, just in case you were to sit on the bike for the first time and this is what you're gonna be looking at the whole entire time when you're riding this bike. You get some leather grips over here, a little bit of stitching. They do lock in place on the ends. Here's your button layout right here. You hold the plus button to go in the headlight like I told you, but the bottom minus button, if you hold that, that starts moving it into walk mode, so it will walk with you. And then you have a horn down here. Decently loud. I am in the garage though, keep in mind. It doesn't come with this. This is just for my Insta360, so don't mind that. The display looks great. I love how you can see everything on there. It tells you the temperature outside. It tells you the miles you have on the bike, your wattage, your pedal assist right here, which you can go up and down, very easy to do. If you put it all the way down, this is basically human mode, so you want to pedal the bike with no assistance whatsoever, you do that. And then you double tap this to go into the settings. If you want to get into the advanced settings, the code is 1801. And what I did, do not change the power system. You want to leave that on 52 volts, but I came down the speed limit and I put it to 55 kilometers per hour. That's the max you can go. Current limit is only 30 amps on this controller, but I moved it all the way up to 63 amps. Why not? Everything else I did not change, but you can turn off cruise control. You can do a bunch of other stuff. And to get back out, all you do is double tap this and you're back to the thing. And over here, you do have a shifter real quick, but you do have a half twist throttle, which is kind of nice. I kind of like those on some of the bikes, and this one does feel very comfortable. I'm mostly used to thumb throttles, but if they would have put a thumb throttle on this one with the shifter, they would have had to put it on the left-hand side, and I really like throttles being on the right-hand side because I'm right-handed. So without further ado, so that should be everything you need to know on the bike. Now we got to switch to the action cam and see if this bike is actually worth it and go through all the stuff I like to test on these bikes. Now keep in mind, the T7 original is coming in at $16.99, and this one right here is coming in at $19.99 as of making this video. All right, what's going on, guys? We're out here on the action cam, and I decided to start in human mode, and we're in 0. So that means there's no electric assistance whatsoever. It is just me pedaling. And this is not bad. I'm actually doing 10 miles an hour and I feel pretty comfortable. I am in gear number 2 and this feels great. I feel really connected to the bike. Let's see what pedal assist 1 does. I'm gonna use the throttle. And it looks like pedal assist 1 does the exact same speed of what we're able to achieve with our own human power. All right, so let's go up to 2. Oh, damn. 2 definitely had a jolt of power right there. All right, mode number 2, looks like it goes up to about 15. Let's go up to mode number 3. Wow, you can definitely feel that power coming from that Bafang motor. Jeez Louise. All right, so I think it's probably supposed to do about 20. Yeah, about 20 miles an hour. There's always gonna be a discrepancy at probably like 1 or 2 miles an hour. And I like the fact that this is matching up with this. It's maybe off 1 mile per hour, but anyways, bump it up to 4. I didn't feel too much of a leap from 3 to 4. Obviously the top speed, of course, but I didn't feel like an initial jolt. But we're already moving pretty well. And then, let's see, 5, which it looked like 4 was at like 26. I'm pretty sure 4 is gonna probably be at 25. This is where we should be able to get 35 miles an hour. Oh shit, what a stop sign. You know, why was that there? All right, let's try this again. Getting up to speed. Let's see how fast we can go. Now I'm noticing that this is going faster than this. This is like having a hard time to catch up. I also noticed when in the garage, when I was twisting the throttle, that this does have a delay on registering speed. So when it really like ramps up, it takes a while. This is a good speed right here. Nice and smooth too. I feel really tall. People should be able to see me because I feel like really high up in the air compared to the other bikes that we've been on, the 20-inch bikes. This is definitely like an SUV type of bike right here, like a Hummer. Yeah, this is pretty cool. Yeah, so I saw 34 miles an hour. We have a little bit of wind coming against me and not bad whatsoever. We're almost able to stay up with traffic. People in front of me bumping some music. Now I still have the screen protector on here, which I should take off and just make it a little bit more clear, but I like having like an actual screen protector on here. It doesn't look too scratched up, so I think I'm just gonna leave it. But dang, look at that. We're about to pass this car. This is how fast this bike is. That's crazy. Yep, that's funny. That's too funny. Let's go, we're racing. We're racing. The people behind them are kind of pissed off though, because they're like, go faster. It's actually a 35. Oh, okay. All right, I see what you're gonna do here. Thanks, really, really appreciate it. Perfect time to use my horn, but it is not like that loud, so you're not gonna be able to hear it when people have their windows rolled up. And they were bumping music, I told you guys, so. I like it though. I mean, it's cool. It's not crazy loud. It's not a real horn. It's coming right from that speaker, right behind the headlight. That's what all companies have been doing lately. I want to say like 2%, maybe 5% of bikes come with an actual horn nowadays. Look at this, cruise control. Woo! I gotta say, I was expecting the brakes to slow down a little bit faster. Okay, I don't know why you're waiting for me. Okay, I'll go. Thanks. I don't know why he did that. Hey, everyone's looking at this bike. That's a third person to look at this bike I've seen in their car. They're literally like breaking their neck to look at it. So I guess this is a very flashy bike for what it is. What's going on, man? So we are in our designated speed test. And since this bike can go over 28 miles an hour, I like to see where these bikes reach at this stretch of road. I do this in every single one of my video reviews. Normal bikes, if they're under 27 miles an hour, they're on the slower side. If they're over 28 miles an hour, they're on the faster side. So let's see where this one ends up. We're gonna use throttle only, and then I'll do this test again and I'll come back and use the pedals. So here we go, 1, 2, 3. It's a very gradual start. It says it has 80 Newton meters of torque out of this bike, but it has too slow of a start, I feel like a start ramp up speed. Here we go, 26, I'm going off of this, 27, 28, 29, 30, woo, 31. Oh, man. The brakes could be better though. I'm really curious to see when we do the braking test on how it's gonna stop, because they don't feel like they're grabbing too well. Now, I know this bike only has 2 miles on it right now. It does take a little bit of time for the brakes to kind of break in and kind of beat into the rotor. But I ride my bikes in all my reviews with like 2 miles or 3 miles on them. And this one seems like it's performing a little worse than the other so far. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Again, no throttle. Come on. Oh, wow. All right, it took a while to activate. Let's go through the gears. Okay, it's the front one. I was hitting the wrong one. All right, I can feel a little bit in the pedals. Not too bad. That last one made a big clunk. And it looks like we're probably gonna reach the same speed, maybe even only 30. Yeah, because it had a slight more delay when using the pedals. Now I wanna see if I'm connected to the pedals, like when that stops. Because right now I'm still connected and we're doing 30 miles an hour. I'm still connected to the bike. Now I am moving my feet very fast, my white ass legs, and we're doing 33 miles an hour and I'm still pedaling this bike perfectly fine. Now I gotta say though, after like 28 or 29, it really feels kind of like you're over exceeding your legs, but I still had resistance in the pedals, but it didn't feel super comfortable. But it was still connected, so that's all that matters. Now let me show you the bike up here and talk a little bit more about it out in the sun in this little cul-de-sac. I'm seeing about almost 1600 watts, baby, let's go! So now we're at the end of the road and this is where we start doing our off-road test, but I like to kind of walk around this bike and you guys can see it out in the sun instead of being under my garage lights. And it actually looks like a sleek, clean bike because it's basically like it's like a flat black, but then it's a gloss black on the letters. And the battery matches in because they didn't paint the battery and it's just a black plastic. So that looks perfect. I love the fact that they put their logo on here for the website so they can brand it, but it is blended in with the bike and no one's really gonna see that, but it's still advertising the brand because all bike companies do this. And I don't wanna advertise a website, but the fact that it's hidden, it looks great. Another thing you guys can do on this bike I haven't mentioned yet is you can put a rear rack on here. You can get it on their website. There's 2 bolt holes right here and 2 on this side. So you can mount a rack back here if you want. I don't know anything about the rack. I don't have it. The biggest thing you gotta do, and I mentioned this probably 3 times in this video now, is you're gonna wanna put a light probably wrapped around right here, and you're probably gonna wanna put the seat a little bit higher up so it can actually go over this fender. And you're definitely gonna need that, especially if you ride at night, so just be safe out there. It does come with a headlight, so I'm assuming they expect you to probably ride at night, right? If they put a headlight on there, but not a brake light? Come on, guys. Now the front of the bike looks pretty nice. The cable management is a little bit kind of all over the place. Like some of these look a little longer than they should be. They could have probably shortened these up, but I'm not hating too much. The one thing I did notice on this bike as of riding it was, well, first off, the cruise control took me by surprise, but check the turning radius out. That's the only turning radius I have. That is not a very wide turning radius. So when you got to get places and you're trying to go around, you're like, okay, this, back it up like this, back it up like this, back it up like this, you know what I'm saying? So I wish the turning radius was a little bit better. And I want to tell you guys right now before I go off-roading, the back doesn't feel fully dialed in. The back actually feels pretty firm. So I feel like I need to take a little bit of pressure out of the back. The front feels pretty good, but you can always adjust this and put the air in that's going to fit your needs. It has a diagram right down here and it will tell you your rider weight and where you should have this at. But I didn't adjust anything while coming out on this ride. I basically just got on the bike and I'm just riding it right out of the box. The only thing we had to do was change the speed to unlock it to 35 miles an hour. But without further ado, let's test out this uphill test. I'm a little worried because 80 Newton meters of torque is decent for the street, but not hills. And this has a gradual start, so I'm slightly worried. Here we go, 1, 2, 3. This is full throttle, my feet are out. Oh, Vitilan, oh man. Oh, that's bad. That's bad. I mean, it made it maybe like 80% up there, but it did not work. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop the gear down and pedal and use the throttle and see if that works. 1, 2, 3. I think we'll do it now. Helping my feet along the way. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. I mean, I'm glad that they went up to 52 volts compared to the 48 volt that the old one was, because I reviewed the old one and it was perfectly fine. But I do like the extra top speed we have, but the torque just still doesn't feel there on this bike. I wish it was a little bit better. But I mean, a lot of people probably aren't gonna complain. I've just ridden many bikes out there. So if you're still in the market for this thing, it's a great bike. Well, it feels like it so far. But hills, you better watch out. Let's come this way. Let's go up here. Woo! Oh, all right. Yeah, it's not terrible so far. The tires are gripping pretty well because this is a slight incline that I'm riding on, and normally the tires, if they were street tires, they would just wash out and the bike would slide down the hill. But it's handled its own so far. Let's go a little higher. Woo! We got some bumps. Here's another bump. Oh yeah, we got some air off of that one. Whoa! Oh, it slipped out a little bit right there, pushing the limits of the side of these tires. Woo! Not bad. Let's see if it even gets up this hill now that I think about it. I mean, if you get a running start, I guess it should. Yeah. Oh, slipped out a little bit. All right. Gonna do a little bit more off-roading. Let's go, bike, let's go. Riding off-road, going super fast feels way different than being on the road. It definitely, it's fun. It's more adrenaline seeking, but definitely hit something bad and go down, and I ain't trying to have that happen. Oh, we're in cruise control mode. I meant to slow down. Woo! Cruise control came out of nowhere. Now, I did see that in the advanced settings that you can take cruise control off, so if that's not a feature you like, then you can get rid of that. But man, is it bumpy out here. I actually love the seat though. The seat is great. I mean, everyone's butt is different. Everyone's built differently, but for me, I'm 165 pounds. I lost a little bit of weight since I got sick, and this seat is fitting me pretty well. But yeah, I feel like the back needs to be adjusted for me. Oh God, birds, watch out. I'm a man on a mission. I'm doing 34 miles an hour coming up to everybody. Let's go, I gotta make this green light. Damn, we're just going hella fast. Going over here. All right, let's make sure none of these cars come and hit me, because I'm gonna make this turn right here. Make sure the Chevy knows what I'm doing. Cool. All right, we're safe. We're in the clear. We didn't die. Now, the next thing I like to do on these tests is kind of turning. And I gotta say, you gotta put a lot of momentum into turning this bike. This is not a very easy bike to turn. Now, it's not like it's hard or anything like that. I know there's gonna be people that say, like, what are you talking about? I've been on it, it's easy. Like, you can turn it hell easy. Compared to a skinnier tire, this is definitely, it takes more effort. It's easier if you kind of lean your body into it, but it's definitely, takes a little bit of force. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, turning this bike is not the easiest. And real quick, let me show you the turning test to make a U-turn. So let's say you're like, okay, I'm on this thing, let's turn back around. All right, that's my turning radius. I don't want to go in the dirt. All right. My 3 or 4 point turn. Let's see, if I come all the way to this edge and try to make a turn. Can I do it? Oh, I barely did it. All right, it's not that bad. But when you're storing it in like your garage or you're putting it somewhere, and sometimes it's just easier to pick these bikes up and just grab the back ass of it and just kind of move it around. That's probably what I would do. That's actually what I had to do when I got this bike. And holy crap, cruise control came on, and I did not expect that. There has to be a little indicator on here that shows cruise control. Is there? Cruise control didn't even activate right now. Anyways, we do our brake test at 28 miles an hour, so let me get down to that speed, do my best to try to regulate the power. Oh man, we're going pretty quick. 28, no, that was like 29. All right, 29 miles an hour. The brakes feel like they're working a lot better now since I got a few miles on it. I have 4.2 miles is what's saying on here, and this says 4.4 miles, so it's pretty accurate. Not too bad whatsoever. This is the line. If we stop at the line and behind it, it's a good bike for stopping. I gotta say I was going 1 more mile per hour over, but it was decent. It's not the best though. I'm gonna put that out there. I'm sorry. It's not the best braking bike I have been on, but it is still doing the job. It's not gonna kill you or anything like that. Just be a little bit more careful riding this bike compared to some other e-bikes out there. Now, I don't know if you guys can hear this bike, but it is very, very loud. This Bafang motor is definitely making a lot of noise. So it is not the quietest bike out there if you're looking for a very absolutely like quiet bike that no one's gonna hear when you pass by them. This is not the bike. So everyone checks out this bike. Everyone loves it. They probably know me from YouTube or something. Now I'm really curious to see how it's gonna do coming up this. Now this overpass is very long, so it's not very short and steep. It goes over the freeway, which is like a 6-lane freeway, 3 on each side. So it does take some time to go over it. So it should perform very well, I think, coming up this. Now, when I take it to work on another video, you'll definitely see a more incline, and we can really see how it's gonna perform then. We can still go because there's no turn lane. One good thing about bikes. Now up here though, I'm not gonna be able to do that. If it's green, it's good. If it's red, I'm gonna have to stop because there is traffic that comes from this side. But it looks like we're good. Came up that hill pretty nicely too. I mean, I did have a really, really long running start, but no issues. God damn. Everyone hauls ass on this thing. Oh, he did that on purpose. He's like, I don't want to be stuck behind this guy. Yeah, this is a pretty cool bike. I like that I'm sitting really high up though. I love the fact that I don't have to pedal to get to 35 miles an hour. And I really feel like I can see everything. People can see me. I can see that there's a fire way over there if you guys can see that. Look at that. Can you guys see that? Nasty fire over there. Summertime, man, summertime. All right, so we are doing, oh, it capped out. It capped out, what the heck? Oh, man. Vitilan, what are you doing? It looked like it was gonna hit 36, 37, and I just felt a hard cap. This thing just stopped moving. That's crazy. All right, brakes are working really, really good now. No complaints with the brakes. I was just experiencing them not being broken in yet, but now it's performing very well. Hey, is this a taco truck that's always posted up over here? I bet you it is. Watch, they're gonna pull in up here. Oh, yep. I heard they put a lot of fat in their meat, so I'm not coming here. But maybe I'll try it one of these days and give them the benefit of the doubt, but I heard bad things. So it looks like we hit 36 miles an hour, so I guess we can say we hit over the rated speed. I mean, that was downhill. But anyways, I've done 5.58 miles, and my battery bar is kind of garbage. It just shows like green bars. I can't tell anything. It kind of sucks, but it's something, but it's really nothing. I mentioned this in my other video review. I don't like the battery bars being all the way in the corner because I can't tell where I'm at. Like, to me, this is looking like 80%, and you guys probably can't even see that. Well, let's do a test real quick. Let me get out of cruise control. Holy crap. All right, let's start at this pole, and let's come up this hill. 1, 2, 3, throttle only. Let's go, bike. Come on. Come on, you can do it. God, it's such a slow takeoff. You can see it on here. It shows you the wattage. So it starts at like 200 watts, 400 watts, 600 watts, 900 watts. Now we're getting about 1500 watts. It's like gradual. Every like second, it looks like it goes up. So I wish I got the power instantly. But it's cool though. It's not the slowest bike. What's up, buddy? What's up? Is that electric? Oh, that's not electric. He's on a regular bike. All right, look at this. We're over the freeway, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna do a quick turn right here. Let's see how this bike handles going into a turn decently fast. Now, I'm not gonna be stupid with it, but I wanna see how it feels. Oh yeah, we're moving. We're moving so fast in the turn. My shorts are coming up. People probably see my boxers. Whoa, let's go, baby. 30 miles an hour on this thing is pretty good. Ooh, not bad. Especially, oh, a scooter missing a wheel. Maybe he tried to go down the stairs. That's something we should do. Let's go down the stairs. Woo. Coming up this thing, look, I got my feet on the ground. Getting it, baby, we're getting it. Whoa, that fire's gotten bigger. God dang. Oh, there's an ambulance. They might be going to that fire. Oh, shoot. Go, go, go. Let's go down this thing. All right, all right. Oh my God, it's such a big bike. Oh, it's so bumpy. It needs to be adjusted. Oh, wow, a big bike. I feel like I'm gonna fly over the handlebars. Woo. All right, lots of noise from the derailleur in the back. It did it, ladies and gentlemen, but not very smooth. Yeah, the cool thing about this bike, if you guys do get this one, I really do think it's worth the upgrade compared to the original T7. And I'll get to this in my final conclusion when we get back to the house, but just to give you guys a little bit of information, it's really not that much of a jump, and I feel like you're gonna have more fun adjusting the air to your riding weight and getting it balanced out for you. And it's a decently quick bike compared to the other one was only doing 28 miles an hour. At least in this one, I feel like I can stay with traffic and stuff, you know what I mean? So I'm hauling ass and I'm not even having to do anything. Let's see if I can let my hands off at 33 miles an hour and this thing is still like hauling ass, so that's great. I bet you everyone out here is like, what the hell is this guy on? He's like hauling ass on this big ass bike, and that's right, motherfucker. The next thing I like to do is a throttle response, and it felt pretty good. It's just really slow to ramp up on speed. So here we go, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, half a second delay if that, really responsive. We'll do it one more time, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, No complaints there. Let's see how the pedals are. Let me make sure I am in the lowest gear. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. All right, a little bit more lag from the pedals, not much, but a little bit more. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, barely. I would say that the throttle's like half a second, and then that's like, I don't know, close to a second. Still not bad at all. And I know I told you the turning radius wasn't as good as some of these other e-bikes. What I like about this bike and turning wise is that I don't feel like I'm gonna hit a pebble and go down, because that's the biggest issue with small tire e-bikes, is when you're turning and you hit a rock when you're turning, you can go down. And on this bike, I don't feel like I'm gonna go down when I do a sharp turn. But I'm just saying, you gotta put some momentum into that turn. It's not very easy to turn. It feels like it's like kind of stiff up front. But it makes sense, it's a fat tire e-bike. It's what you get with a fat tire e-bike. I wanna catch up to that biker that's way over there. I need to see if he's going straight or if he's turning into the neighborhood. We gotta go that way. Let's go. I gotta go before this car's coming. Sweet, made it. All right, let's catch up to this biker. Let's see if he's going straight or turning. You gotta show him what's up on the Vitilan T7PRO, baby. You gotta go electric, man. It looks like he's pedaling over there. No, I'm not hating, guys. It's just all jokes. We having fun today, right? We're in a good mood, feeling healthy or feeling more healthy. Oh, crap. Oh, he's turning too, so we follow him. Dude, I caught up to him quick. Like, hella fast. All right, we're gonna go past him though. He's on a little T7PRO. What's up, brother? Yeah, I tell people, do not get those Costco e-bikes. Like, I get it for the simplicity of like throwing it in your car. It's very lightweight. I can understand that aspect of it, but it is absolutely god-awful slow. Those do like 12 to 15 miles an hour. I think you can hop them up and modify them a little bit, but I don't know, man, just not my thing. And we got to go around this person. All right, we were jamming past that person while that tree just hit my helmet. I should have looked behind me to see where the traffic was at, but I think we're going pretty damn fast because it's only a 40 out here, and I'm doing 35. Now, I have noticed this in the last like 2 miles, is that when it hits 35 miles an hour and it's going to go above 35 miles an hour, it cuts your power. And I felt that earlier, and I felt it 2 more times. That kind of sucks. I wish if it was going to go, it should just keep going. It doesn't need to give you a bunch of power when you reach 35 miles an hour, but it shouldn't cut all your power out to limit you at 35 miles an hour, because we easily hit 35 and my power goes down to 400 watts. And now it's trying to hold 35, and then once it feels like it's gonna go past 35, it goes back down. Like, look, I'm at 1500 watts, now 900 watts, and I know I'm gonna feel a hard cut and it's gonna go back to 400 watts. Come on, man, I wanna go faster. This bike can go faster, 100%. If this controller was being able to be unlocked more than the speed that I was able to do in the advanced settings, this thing would probably hit like 38. I am not making that up. This bike can definitely haul ass and go faster. But they should have really worked on the torque of this bike. I really feel like it's pretty solid. Maybe they did that for warranty issues, like to protect the motor and stuff like that. But Feng motors are really good. You shouldn't have an issue with them. They're a well-known brand. But it just doesn't feel like it's there. I feel like it's the fine adjustments in whoever tuned the controller to give it all the power when you get on the throttle. I would have liked to seen that, because that will get you out of sticky situations. That's why fast cars are fast for a reason, and they're actually more safer being fast because you can get out of the way. Slower cars, if you see someone coming behind you, you can't speed up fast enough to get out of the way of traffic that might rear end you. You know what I'm saying? So getting across the street fast, and getting a bike that does 35 and is 52 volt, you would think that it'd have a little bit more torque. I've been on way slower bikes, and this thing is coming in at $2,000. So I mean, I can't hate it too much. It's a big fat bike too. I mean, it's not a small 20-inch bike, so you got to give it that too. Bigger components, more expensive. I'll also have discount codes too, so it should bring it down by $100, maybe even $200. You just got to go to the website and plug in the coupon code. Make sure you click the link though too, because sometimes if you click the link, it will automatically send you to the website with the discount code in there. But if it doesn't, the discount code and everything will be listed in the description. I'll try to make a post, and if you guys don't see it, just make a comment and I'll reply back to you guys. I read all the comments, so I really appreciate it. But anyways, let me see you guys at the house, and I don't even know why I was holding onto the throttle the whole time. I got cruise control. But let's do the final thoughts and conclusions at the house in, well, right now. I feel like people trip out when you stand on top of a bike like this and they know you're not pedaling, but you're also going almost the speed as traffic. They're like, what the hell is this guy on? I want one of those. Oh, tree! Ah! Shouldn't be standing on a tall ass bike. That's what I'm gonna say right now. All right, guys. Well, it's the next day of filming and I'm in totally different clothes because my mic did not work the last time I did this outro. So without further ado, I normally wanted to go over the range that we did in today's video. So on the bike, it says we did 10.1 miles. On here, it says we did 10.61 miles. I was out there for 35 minutes. Max speed was 36 miles an hour, but realistically, it was only able to hit 35. But 35 is still a very fast e-bike. That puts it in a class 4 category instead of class 3. I like the big tires. We're gonna have to check out the headlight in the next video. I like the air front suspension so you can dial it into your weight. The back, I definitely need to dial it in a little bit more because it was a lot more stiffer in the back. I absolutely love this seat. This seat was very good for me at 165 pounds. Now, everyone's shaped different, so I can't really say the same, but these are very cheap on Amazon or at your local bicycle store. The one biggest con about this is not having a rear brake light. I think that was kind of a missed opportunity because you put a headlight on the bike and you think, okay, you want us to ride at night, right? And then there's nothing in the back. So you're definitely gonna have to put something back here if you plan on riding at night. And I love the fact that I was connected on this bike up to about 20, 30 miles an hour, and I was still connected even at 35 miles an hour, but I felt my feet were just moving a little too fast, but I still felt a little tiny bit resistance. But up to 30 miles an hour pedaling this bike, it felt great. The throttle felt great. The only thing is the speed of the power ramping up kind of slowly, gradually got up there. I would like to see it get up there a lot faster, up to like 20 miles an hour, but it really felt like from 0 to 10, it was just a slow incline. I would have liked to seen a little bit more of it. But I gotta say, this bike is definitely worth it over the original T7. So if you're looking at Vitilan's bike series, the Pro model of the T7 is actually the way to go. This is the one that I would get because it's only a couple $100 extra bucks or something like that. So, and I will have a discount code that will take some money off this bike too, that will put it closer to the price of the non-Pro model. So I would definitely get this one. It's a lot faster and it's a lot more fun. I'll see you guys in the next one. You guys are the true MVPs. Later, guys.